Hello everybody, welcome back to another video here on the channel, and we got an exciting one for you today. A few months ago, you may remember we put out a vlog on the channel, our first ever vlog that we've done, covering Midwest FurFest, the biggest furry convention in the world in Chicago. Now, we had attended that early December, and I had been telling you guys ever since that I had been working with the MFF staff to try and get the footage of the panel that I hosted at Midwest FurFest, that being the VTuber and content creation panel. 3 months later, after many emails, we finally got the footage. They finally found it. Huzzah! I'd like to give a big thank you to the MFF staff for helping us out and giving us this footage so that we can share the panel with you guys. If by the end of the video you do happen to have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. I don't respond to a ton of comments, but I do see all of them. I do appreciate all of them. If you have any questions or want us to specify further on something, let me know. And if you haven't yet already, hit that subscribe button. It's free. It helps out the channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell as well to get notified whenever we upload a new video every Friday. But without further ado, everybody, let's get on into the video. Enjoy, and we'll see you on Twitch. Hello. This is so much scarier than I had imagined. Thank you. And no, I'm not short, I heard that. Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome on in to VTubing content creation. I'm Corgi, and I have three amazing friends with me today. Also fellow content creators, and we're gonna be, talking with y'all for the next hour or so about VTubing and content creation, as it says on the title. Before we get into it though, I did want to make a quick little thank you, shout out to all the MFF staff and volunteers that are working, our interpreters for being here. They're doing amazing work to help put on an amazing con for all of us this weekend. And yeah, can we get a round of applause? They're doing an awesome job. Thank you so much. Okay, so really what we're going to be doing today is kind of discussing fundamental key points that we think are kind of, a strong foundation to streaming and content creation in general. To stress that, there are millions of forms of content, and there are millions of more ways to do things. So not one of us has, all of the answers, but we're hoping that at least at the end of the panel today, you guys can walk out of here learning something new, and maybe a little bit of fun facts behind the scenes of what we got going on. So a little bit about me. I'm Corgi. You might know me from Twitch.tv as Corgi Cam. I'm a full-time content creator and streamer. I've been streaming for over 10 years now. I've been VTubing for almost 3 years, and one of the highlights of my career has been this past September. My channel actually broke into the top 70 most subscribed channels on Twitch. Thank you. Huge thank you to just everybody in the community and the fandom. You guys are amazing, and everybody that's come out to be here, thank you. But of course, I'm joined by three of my awesome friends, which you may also know. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, starting with this fox right here.
Hello. Hi, everybody. So yeah, I'm Merkaz. I'm not as long of a streamer as Corgi. Corgi's been doing this for way longer than I have. Been streaming
He's better,
for...
though.
No, shut up. I've been streaming for 2.5 years, full-time for 1.5 years. I've been VTubing for 2 years. I started as a facecam streamer as well, before joining the furry fandom and going full-on VTubing. I also co-founded a team on Twitch called the Team Sweet Beans, which is the only family-friendly furry Twitch team to exist. So it's just a collection of people doing PG-13 stuff in the furry community, which is really cool and is what I do as well. I'm a family-friendly streamer. And yeah, I'm just a silly fox, and I'm having a lot of fun, and this is absolutely nerve-wracking. Can I go back behind my screen? Can I play games on OBS again? That would be really fun. Yeah.
Can we get usernames up here, please?
Yeah. I would like to have chat over here so we can just interact, and yeah, that would be great. I'm not stinky, and thank you everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. Back to you, Corky.
Our next friendo has taken a long trip to be here with us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Mega. I am. Yeah, I'm from Australia, so I came. It was like 20 hours worth of flights or something like that to get here, and I am Twitch's Furry VTuber ambassador. So on Twitch, there's Twitch partners, and then Twitch is also nice enough to have an ambassador role for a select couple of people. So there's only about 169, I think it is, ambassadors on Twitch. So part of my role is to help represent the VTuber and furry community that's on Twitch. So if, like, I see the furry community has like issues or anything that they want to bring up to Twitch, I've got special feedback forms that I can send to Twitch and stuff like that. Obviously, I can't bring cheering back or anything like that, but I can help with that. And yeah, so I stream art, games to Twitch, and I like meeting new people, and I got a lot of nice friends like all of these guys and a lot of you guys. And yeah, that's what I do. So.
Awesome. Can we give it one last round of applause for Mega? And last but certainly not least, it's our only suiting panelist today. You might know them. I'll just let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi. You can all hear me. Yeah, okay, good. I'm Meeps. Hi. Yeah, so I've been streaming since I was a kid, but I started VTubing back in 2021, and I've been doing that full time ever since. I have a focus on doing a lot of stuff on the technical side of Twitch and making a bunch of software for other VTubers to use for their streams and stuff like that. You might have seen it on Corgi's streams. Whenever you throw an object at him, that's my fault.
It's all his fault.
I also, there was that one time I went to space, but that's a little, that's out of topic. And yeah, and this is Beeps, my little assistant. He's cool.
Yeah. So one last round of applause for everybody that's joined me today. Again, we're incredibly honored to be here speaking with y'all. But yeah, let's get on into it. So between all of us at the table here, there's a lot of experience here. Some good, some bad, of course. You can take your ups with your downs, but we've been doing this for a long time, and our skill sets are very expansive across all four of us. And hopefully we're able to kind of impart some of that knowledge onto you today. We're going to be covering a few topics that we've gotten together and discussed that we think are a good foundation for most streamers, whether you're looking to start streaming or creating content, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, whatever, or maybe you've been doing it for 3-4 years and you're looking, for that extra little bit of info or that little kick to jumpstart the next part of your streaming career. So the first topic that I want to talk about today is something that if you've frequented my streams, you'll know I talk about nonstop. If somebody asks me, what do you recommend to a new streamer? First and foremost, I always recommend our first topic, scheduling, good scheduling, and consistency. With your streams, your content, whatever. It is very important as a content creator, whether you want to make it a career or just a long-time hobby that you're doing on the side, that your audience can discover you, and once they discover you, they know when to expect you. Okay, so whether or not you're, streaming for, 4 hours a week, 1 day a week, 7 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever it might be, it's just keeping up that consistency and keeping your audience well informed. Honestly, I don't have much beyond that for this category. I just think it's a really important talking point and something to always, remember is, okay, if I'm, gonna be taking a day off, how am I letting my audience know? Or am I streaming for the days that I'm saying I'm going to be streaming? That sort of thing.
Or something we touched when we talked last night as well is being consistent as well in terms of if you need to change your scheduling. Like, yes, if you started streaming, I don't know, 2 days a week because you had a job, and then you changed job and you can't do those 2 days a week, it's letting your community know, however big or small it is, that, okay, here's the change, I can't do those 2 days anymore, but I'm gonna skip the, I don't know, 3 days, shorter streams, but it's keeping consistent with when you make a change, you make that change for at least a set amount of time. You don't change it every week, you don't change it every month. You try to really find something that works for you and something that works, I would say, somewhat for your community if you can, but it's really more for you first, of course. I started personally streaming as a late night streamer because I was working. And then I decided to plunge into full-time streaming, and I was like, I got up in the morning, and I was like, there's no one live right now on Saturday morning, and I want to have a VTuber, furry content creator to watch in the morning. I'm like, well, no one's live, I'll be live. And then it's being consistent with that, but you make choices as a full-time content creator or as anyone, is that time slot in the morning, in the Saturday morning, well, it means I don't go out to brunch with my husband. It means I don't go out partying on Friday. It means, so it's all choices that I've made to be like scheduling consistently around that thing as well.
Of course, that's a really good point too, is, depending on what your circumstances, whether you want it to be a career or a hobby, just a little anecdote about myself, there was a long period of time when I was first starting as a VTuber where I was working 40, 50 hours a week, as a kitchen manager back in Canada. But then I'd come home and I was still, forcing myself to find an extra 20 hours in my week to sit down and stream and, pushing myself that extra mile. So, sometimes it can be difficult, but it's one of those choices to make of whether or not, is that for you, or, do you want to go in that deep, or do you want to, pull back a little bit, make it more of a, once a week, twice a week kind of thing?
Also, a little bit of advice for your scheduling too. Twitch has an inbuilt schedule system. It's actually very important to use that if you can. Even if you give your community like 2 hours notice before you set the schedule on Twitch, because Twitch actually pushes people that use their scheduling system a little bit. Like Twitch actually sends out notifications to some people if they have your notifications turned on that you're going live at a certain time. Twitch will actually tell those people like 5-10 minutes before you go live. So there's multiple members of my community that actually get the notification and come to chat before I've even hit the go live button because they knew of my Twitch schedule. And also, if you have that Twitch schedule set up, you can link it to people and it'll translate into their time zone too. So they'll know exactly when you're on live without you having to do any fancy things with translating the time zones and all of that. So
I didn't even know that. I've been doing it wrong. No, that's really, really good to know, though.
I have something to add. When it comes to like schedule and consistency, a part of that is not only when people like expect you to be on, but what they can expect from you at those times. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to do the same thing every stream, but it means that when you start going and you have like a rhythm that people can know, like, oh, this is what I can expect when I tune into this person's stream. They're gonna have this type of vibe, maybe this type of game, or that kind of thing. So that I've noticed has been important, because whenever I'm looking for people to watch, I always look at people for the kind of, vibe that they have to make sure that that's like what I want to watch at the time. So,
very good point. Very good point.
Very quickly, post it everywhere. Have it accessible on Twitch, have it accessible on Discord, on your Twitter, everywhere, because that one person that checks your Discord might only check your Twitch, that one person that only checks your Twitch might check only your Twitter, so if your schedule is available in some form everywhere, they might stumble into it and not ask when's next stream.
I feel like most of our communities are used to the @everyone ping in Discord now. Sorry. This next topic kind of branches over everything, never mind. Interactivity. I think it's extremely important, and it can come in millions of different forms, whether you're just, keeping up with your chat or your community, or like me and Merle's chat, where you can throw stuff at us, or even Meeps's. Meeps, you probably have a good talking point for this, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Merle kick us off here with interactivity.
Yes, because I think that's literally the only thing I do on stream is I interact. That's all I do. I never stop talking and I always keep interacting. But to come back as well to consistency, what I love about interactivity on Twitch, because if we're looking at it, a live stream compared to a live recording, not a live recording, but we're recording, the only real difference is you get the live interactivity with whoever in chat or the streamer. That's the main difference. If someone watches a stream, basically they in some way, they want to be able to see the interactivity. They want to see things happening live. As you said, live with the model. I think that's what stands out as a VTuber, is that you can get into places of creativity that you cannot get with a face cam. Some people are really crazy with face cam, but there's something about the 3D model. You can play with your outfits, you can play with throwing objects, you can create some really crazy stuff with the 3D VTubers that really puts basically whatever happens on screen into the hands of the viewers, and I think that's something I love. It's getting that sense of control over my stream and giving a small portion of that control away into the hands of the viewers, and it makes for great moments, it makes for great stuff.
You mean I can't actually drop an anvil on you in real life?
Could be funny.
Yeah.
Do we have an anvil?
I mean, if it's rubber, I'm good. Yeah.
We'll try. Words to live by.
It's a mindset. But yeah, and interactivity with your chat. I think I'm known, or people who have seen me or know me for keeping up with my chat. I try to keep up with every single messages. I know I can't anymore. I try, still try, but and it's not. I'm not absolutely not recommending doing that all the time, because it gets hard and it's not always how you do things. But basically, find how you want to build your interactivity, whether through redeems, how you interact with chat. Are you going to do, I don't know, singing, or like whatever skill you have to put on the table for your stream for interactivity. Go for it and keep it as consistent as you can, so that people know they can interact with you in X way during your stream. They'll expect it stream after stream after stream. Try to build on it. If something, if something you've created as a channel point redeem gets on your nerves every time it's redeemed, take it away. Do not let that on there.
Get rid of it.
Like, I've kept redeems on my channel for months, and they were getting on my nerves. I had one which was, say X in French, and it really bothered me that people could control what I say. And I kept it there because I thought people were expecting to see it. But it was, every time I saw it redeem, I was like, ugh, not again. Like, I don't want to say that meme-y thing. Like, I don't care enough. So yeah, if you notice something is really getting on your nerves, you owe it to yourself to just get it out of there.
And I want to pass it down to me specifically for this.
Yeah, so I wouldn't consider myself the quietest streamer, but I'm definitely like on the more chill side. So my interactivity comes in a different way than like a lot of people. I have a background in like computer science and game design, and what I like to do on my streams is to incorporate that kind of game design brain and try to create interesting ways and new ways to engage my audiences. And my computer science background really helps in doing that, because there's so much that you can think of and make a reality when it comes to Twitch. There's so many tools out there, and the technology is just constantly getting better, that like you know, it's incredible what you can make happen with especially VTubing. I know that this is like VTubing and content creation panel, like, and it's not all about VTubing, and you know, but with VTubing, when I originally saw some of the stuff that people were doing in VTubing, that's what got me into it. Specifically, like the throwing stuff. When that first was introduced, that really opened up my mind as to what is possible with this kind of platform. Because before that, I just assumed, you know, you get a webcam, you play your games, you interact with the chat, and try to be as upbeat as possible. But suddenly, it was a lot deeper than that when I noticed, when I started seeing all that happening. And that was what really got me going with my streaming.
Yeah, I can totally side with you there. I think it was early 2021 when I started seeing all the clips of like Tifa coming out, and I was like,
Shout out to Melon Speedruns.
Melon Speedruns, shout out. We love Melon. But yeah, like I saw those clips, you know, circulating Twitter and everything, and I was like, I need this. I need people to throw things at me. That's what I said to myself. But yeah, I think that's good. Interactivity is very important when a new viewer clicks into your stream, that they feel engaged right away. They feel, you know, they either have redeems to go along with, or you're paying attention. Raise your hand if you've ever clicked into a stream and just the chat's completely ignored, or, you know, you feel kind of isolated, right? And you're like, oh, okay, well, they're not paying attention to chat, or they're not talking, or whatever. You know, it's very important. Next thing to move on to ties in directly to interactivity. I'm going to pass this off to me. So we're going to talk a little bit about tech a little bit more toward the VTubing side of things, tech in the VTubing content creation space, as well as like innovation. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, one of my biggest things is this little guy here, this little. He's you might have seen it on Corgi streams as well. He has Cork. I have Beeps. There's this surge of these kind of like TTS little buddies for streams, and I've been doing a lot of programming in terms of getting the AI to work. If you ever come by me late, if you ever cross my path during the convention and you want to ask my assistant a question, I actually have this working so that you can ask him any questions you want. We might have him ask us a question later, just saying.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just, I'm always thinking of new things that I can program, or new tech that I can utilize in the streams. And you know, there's constantly stuff coming out. There's new OBS plugins. OBS, most people are familiar with it, but a lot of people aren't really familiar with the depth that you can go into with those kind of software. So just like looking up tutorials online, or asking other people how they accomplish what they accomplish on streams, is like really crucial to pushing yourself to like these new boundaries with your tech, which I think is a really great way to like engage people. Personally, it's obviously not like required, but it's something that I like to do.
Would you like to talk about your program that you made?
MEEP.
MEEP.
The Model Experience Enhancement Program, MEEP.
Sounds oddly like your name.
Yeah, it's a
I wonder where it came
acronym.
from.
Yeah, so it's a throwable software that I created. I wanted to make something that was really able to be customized by the more technically inclined people, to be able to create these interactions that you can't really make anywhere else, at least. I haven't seen anything that has been able to do stuff. It's still it still needs some work, but I'm pretty proud of it. It's, in case you're not familiar, it's just throwing stuff at, well, it's more than throwing stuff at people, but it revolves around Twitch users being able to trigger complex behaviors with your avatars, your 3D avatars. And yeah, it's free, so You can Google that.
It's been, I mean, there's other programs, obviously, or other, tech that you can use on your streams. Meep has been an absolute huge part of mine. If you've seen my streams or anything like that, throwing stuff at me, dropping things on me, you can change my outfits and throw me in a maid dress if you want to. What was that? Can we do that right now? No. Hey. But yeah, there's like infinite uses for it, and it's you can customize it in tons of different ways. There's been some really, really cool stuff that we've seen come from the program itself, but yeah, just something to think about.
Quick note, so I'm not on Meep, unfortunately. I know, I'm sorry.
Fair
Meeps.
and valid.
I discovered a program called Sammy, S-A-M-M-I, which is also free and very well developed. I really like the program. It basically lets you do whatever the heck you want on OBS and has integration with other VTubing software and stuff as well. And you do not need to know coding to do it, because I have absolutely no coding knowledge, and I still managed to figure it out. I will say, if anybody starts using like a new program like Sammy, which is still kind of complex to get around with it and get to know how it really works and really push the program to its limit and do cool stuff with it, again, with networking, reach out to people who have struggled with it. I always advocate for people to reach out to me if you want to learn about Sammy. One of my good friend, Nub Tactics, created a startup guide for like VTubers on Sammy, which is very concise. It'll teach you how to do like your first button, and it brings you step by step through it. So don't be afraid to like reach out about stuff you don't know, especially tech-wise, because learning everything about VTubing, Blender, Unity, me, like all the programs needed to run a good stream, you're not going to get out of there. You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. So reach out, make friends with people. And those friends might know more about something, and you might know more about something for them, and it's just a way to reach out.
There's along with Sammy, there's also StreamerBot, mixed it up. There's a lot of programs that do very similar things, so you don't need Sammy per se, but you can use StreamerBot. There's multiple programs that you can pick from, and they all have their ups and downs and goods and bads about them. Like I personally use Sammy as well. What one do you use?
I'm on StreamerBot.
StreamerBot?
Yeah.
So I'm actually on the StreamerBot Twitch team. So if you have any StreamerBot questions, you can ask me. StreamerBot's really good. Yeah.
like we said at the start, there's a million different ways that you can do this, but these are just a couple examples of like what works for us specifically for some of the things that we've done. I can't even count the amount of times I get DMs asking, oh hey, how does Cork work, my little TTS AI guy, or how do you do this, how do you do that? I'm more than happy to answer questions. My DMs are always open. I might be a little bit slow to reply, but it's always there.
Also, there's like an important thing is you might be overwhelmed by all these options and like all these things, like all these software. There's hundreds of them, and which ones to use, and take it step by step. You don't have to have everything all at once. Don't get overwhelmed. Just do one thing at a time, and you'll get yourself there eventually.
And also on that note, if you make a new redeem or something and you hit the go live button and it doesn't work, that's okay, because it happens to everybody, so you don't have to stress. There's no worry about your streams being polished and clean the moment you hit go live button. Stuff happens to literally everybody, so it's actually a good learning point to see where it broke, why it broke, and then revisit it after stream. And your community members will generally actually enjoy it because they'll think it's funny that your stream's broken. So
I have literally gotten rid of redeems because they broke, and I didn't want to fix it.
And most of the time it's my fault.
I blame him solely. Yeah, but tech, it's always changing. They might release something tomorrow that's gonna completely change the way everything's done. So it's exciting, it's fast moving, but if you start small and kind of build on top of something, you can get yourself something that you're you're very happy with for in the long term. Last thing we want to touch on before we're going to be opening to a Q&A, if anybody does have any questions, either directed at us or about what we talked about today. Something Mega is really, really good at, and that's art and kind of branding yourself or kind of giving yourself an image. You wanna comment on that?
I'm a bit anxious. Do I have to?
You're doing good.
Okay.
We're like 40 minutes in now.
All right, so how many of you guys have themes for your streams? Like, do you like stars or plush toys? So most people have a theme. Do you have a color scheme? If you don't, that's fine. If you do, that's really cool. So one thing that people are going to recognize you for when you're streaming is, one thing, your persona or your VTuber. The other is your branding. So my branding is stars and frogs, pretty much. And my colors are purples and blues. So I've got mostly dark purples, dark blues, and neon blue and pink. The other thing with branding I would probably recommend too is don't make the branding the same color as your VTuber, because oftentimes you wander into someone's stream and they'll have like an orange fox as their VTuber, but then their backgrounds will also be orange and you'll blend into your background. So I would recommend that if you can, make your branding a little bit different of the color of your VTuber, but at the same time, I'm not an authority on that, so you can do whatever you want. I don't care. Wait, did I say the F word?
Somebody had to.
I didn't say the C word yet.
I'm glad it was not me.
You've already hit your time. But yeah, Mega's very right. I'm sure you've seen a couple of my hoodies, walking around the primary colors, red, yellow, blue. I mean, I'm not very original, but I'm consistent with it. So yeah, just having, a recognizable kind of either like art style or color scheme or, logo, something like that. Mega, for example, makes amazing art, and anytime I see her art on like Twitter or anything, I don't even need to look at the credits. I'm like, oh, that's Mega.
Yeah, like I've seen your hat around the con many times.
I've seen you a few times, so yeah, at least 3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep seeing everybody wearing your hat, and I immediately go, oh yeah, it's Corgi's hat, because that's your logo. So it's pretty cool if you can get a logo. That's cool. You don't need a logo or anything like that, but they are cool. I like my logo.
Another thing about branding, and I think it's probably most important on Twitch, is emotes.
Absolutely.
The amount of times someone I found a channel through emotes, or that someone told me, yo, I like your emotes, so I checked out your channel. And it's good. Personally, I think it's really good to have consistency in emotes as well, having a similar style if you can. I know, for people who do art, it's, I guess, easier in a way because you can come up with your own emotes. It's your art style, and I guess for artists, it's even more, in my opinion, important, I guess. Like, I'm not an artist, but I guess it's important to show off your talent through your emote.
Yeah, generally a lot of artists take pride in doing their own emotes because it's also a way of showing off, like, your art as well as your streams at the exact same time, because most of us draw on Twitch as well. So it's just like, well, this is what you can expect from my stream. My emotes, I drew those.
Something I hear, not particularly in like any of our chats, or maybe you guys can attest to it, but some people on Twitch, they'll literally never watch you, but they'll subscribe to you because they like your emotes. They're like, here's my resub, see you next month.
Yeah, last year I had someone resub at 11 months, and then they said their first chat message, and I was like,
yeah.
What are you doing?
They're the real MVPs.
I've had one DM at some point from someone I didn't know, and I clicked on it. It was a really odd DM. I took off the unlock a random emote channel point redeemed you can get, and apparently they said they would only like come see my channel and watch just enough to redeem that emote that they wanted to keep through channel points. And I'm like, for you, I'll keep it there. Yeah, it's fine.
It works.
Which, speaking of that, if Twitch does have that channel point reward where you can unlock a subscriber emote for 24 hours, I recommend maybe turning that on, so that way when you raid out, people that can't afford to subscribe, they can unlock the raid emote in your raid message, and that way they can click, oh yeah, I want that emote. That means that they can still be included in your raid message, posting the same emotes as everyone else too, so.
Yeah. Good points. Anything to add? No? All right, well, those are the flashcards.
We did it!
So, we're going to kind of go a little freeform here and open it up to Q&A if anybody does have any questions. I see a couple hands coming up. Would everybody be able to form a line here? We have a microphone set up at the front.
And while
I hate to be a pain.
We will also be very
There's a
mean,
microphone.
but we have to cut it off at 2 exactly.
Yeah.
So we might have to cut off someone, but if
So
you have other
ask your
questions, we'll be around.
really fast.
Meanwhile, while people are lining up, do you mind if I ask Beeps to give us a
Yes,
question?
yes. So while we're getting everybody lined up here, we're actually going to ask Beeps a question, which is Meeps' AITTS. And we're going to see what he says.
see. Hey Beeps, wait, I gotta press the button. Hey Beeps, we're currently on a panel in front of everybody at Midwest FurFest about VTubing and content creation. Can you ask us a question that we can answer? Submit. Okay. He's got the mic.
He's thinking.
He's thinking. He's cooking.
Absolutely. Let's keep it sharp and engaging for our Midwest FurFest panel. Here's one for you. In the evolving landscape of virtual content creation, how do you balance authenticity with character performance to build a genuine connection with your audience? And what role do you see VTubing playing in the broader context of online entertainment? This should open up some insightful dialogue on the art of VTubing and its impact on the community and content creation.
That was very
That's a
long.
loaded question.
Yeah.
I got it. Yes.
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 Okay.
Yeah. Hello. What's your name?
Carl,
Nice to meet you. Hello.
nice to meet you. I don't think you know me.
That's okay. I hope to get to know you.
That'll be fun. Okay, so if you're just brand spanking new to Twitch and you don't have any kind of community or like any fancy redeems or emotes or anything like that, how do you even get people to see your channel?
My recommendation is start streaming. When you end streams, make sure you raid out. So a lot of people, when they end stream, they just go, oh, but I've only got one viewer, so I may as well not raid out. It's like, no. Start raiding into people that you like. You raid into other smaller communities like we were touching on earlier, social networking, get to know other smaller communities. You don't need to have emotes and stuff when you start. Most of us didn't. I definitely didn't have emotes when I started. I'd recommend just like getting to know your fellow content creators, talking in their chats if you can, getting to know each other. Then like, especially if you're like a smaller streamer, like you're just starting out, start talking to other smaller creators that are maybe just starting out, and then you can talk to each other, and then there's that level where you just start supporting each other and stuff like that. And
Just to quickly add to that, when I started streaming, I literally had like my panels, my logo, everything. It was just a white background with like a Microsoft Paint black scribbles in text and stuff like that. So you don't need to start, with this big bang. You can if you want to, or you can, but like Mega said, just hit that go live button and make sure you raid into other smaller creators, get to know people, and you will see those numbers start coming around.
I'd also say watch a lot of Twitch, see what other people are doing, and see how that inspires you.
I hope that helps.
We'll be able to take only a few more questions, unfortunately, but I myself will continue for Q&A after. I don't mind. We'll just move out of the room because they need the room, but we'll keep it up.
We'll be out in the lobby.
So I have like the streamer variation of separation anxiety. Every single time, no matter what I've done, no matter how many schedules I've made, I don't know how to combat it. Do you guys have any advice on that?
What do you mean by separation anxiety?
Okay, so no matter how consistent I am with my community, I let them know my schedule, and I've mixed it up many, many times, many hours and all that. And nobody shows up to chat, no one's talking, I don't know what to do, and it kind of freaks me out to where I can't talk to myself. I guess it's just, I'm super anxious, and I need to figure out if there's a way to like fix that.
Yeah, I may have a little bit about it. I don't think it's exactly the same because it's a very precise situation. I did have very similar nervousness of like, I'm gonna go live, are people gonna show up? Or why is X person not around for like 2 weeks or whatever? I think we just have to keep reminding ourselves that people get busy, people get doing other stuff. They might have been available for a month and then, I don't know, they changed up or whatever. There's a lot of different situations from the viewer perspective as well. I think that's something we need to keep in mind. And it's trying not to shoulder the entire responsibility of viewers showing up to what you're doing. A good stream in terms of viewer being engaged might not even relate to what you did on stream. It might just be, that was a day, you know? So like trying not to shoulder that and remind yourself that it's not all onto the creator. Like the viewers have stuff like going on as well on their end, so.
Even to this day, I keep my view count off, and it's a good practice to try and get into, talking to yourself. Even if it's just kind of explaining what you're doing in whatever game you're playing or whatever it is you're doing. I find it kind of helps fill that gap. I hope that helps.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello there.
What's your name?
My name is Stella.
Nice to meet you. What's your question?
My question is, I've been VTubing for about a year now, and I've just passed, I think, and I'm trying to get from the PNG era into a proper model, but I'm not really having any luck finding 2D models, and if you guys have any information about that, because it seems most furry VTubers are 3D, so I was wondering if, since you're bigger, you may have met a few more and have more access to those resources.
So yeah, 2D furry VTubers, it's kind of hard to get an artist or a rigger that'll do them, because there is a lot of riggers that do a lot of rigging work, but most of them only work on humanoid models, which kind of makes it a bit harder. Finding furry live 2D riggers, it can be a bit hard. There is a lot of people that are still starting out rigging that are more than happy to like make rigs, but it's like, it is really, really hard trying to find somebody that's open, because most of the bigger people that actually do furry models in 2D are pretty full because just how many people don't make them. But you can always, one step you can do is find somebody at least that will do the art, and then find somebody that does the rigging as well. So I just did one of my friend's models, and I did the art for it, but I ended up getting somebody who normally rigs only humanoid models to do the live 2D rigging, which was kind of them, because a lot of people that do humanoid models refuse to do furry models because the muzzle shape, getting that rigged, is very, very difficult. But if you have like a chibi-esque model, it's easier.
From what I've seen, maybe I just haven't looked hard enough, but 2D models typically, like, they don't have, like a 3D model, you can go on like Gumroad or something and get a nice base for it and recolor, retexture, add to it that you like. The 2D stuff is typically more to order than, being able to find some sort of template. But like Mega said, it's a very specialized field at the moment. We are seeing a lot more like 3D VTubers moving to 2D. But I still think it's one of those niche things for right now.
Alrighty, well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello.
Hello, my name is Alu. It's a pleasure to meet all of you today.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Hi.
Just have a quick couple of questions, if I could. In regards to, you have mentioned the importance of social media. Is there a nice piece of software that allows you to broadcast a go live to multiple instances of social media really quick?
Yes. So are you talking like making like a Twitter post and this post and that post, or are you talking like multicasting to different platforms?
More just the post, just for like go lives.
Gotcha. I was more so thinking like multi-streaming to like YouTube.
No, like when you say, I'm going live now, something a post multi
Yeah.
things.
You can kind of get bots to do it sometimes.
There
but-
is apps for it as well that you can get, and you can pay for them. But with the Twitter updates and changing the name to X and everything, they broke it all. So and
think
then
Meeps-
Twitter locked their API behind the blue check mark as well. So it made it very hard for people doing multi-posts to post to Twitter and stuff using bots and stuff.
There are ways to get like automatic bots for specific platforms, but you'd have to like set them up specifically. So like you could have a bot for just posting to your Discord. Twitter is a harder one, but you know, there's a bunch of different individual tools that can do individual platforms. I'm not familiar with all of them.
Okay, interesting. This gentleman has something to say.
Networking.
Hi, I'm Apple Sky. For those
Hello.
of you who know me, hello. One thing that you can use, and it's usually used more so for cross-posting art, there's a free program called Postyburb. That actually can send to Mastodon, Blue Sky, Twitter, Patreon. So it doesn't cover literally everything, but it does cover a wide majority and let you cross-post just one thing all at once, and you can schedule it.
Awesome. It's good to know. Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
I learned something new today.
Yeah, I have a few people that use Postyburb and
We will be
I
doing more
recommend it.
questions out. I want to get through as much of the line as we can. We'll be out in the lobby. Thank you.
Hello,
Hi.
my name is Ericles. I've been on and off with streaming for about a year, but with like the whole emotes and interactions and ways the audience can interact with you, is there anything that you can set up that doesn't require like having affiliate status or any other status that you would need to work up to that won't allow you to add anything?
So that, I think Meeps can probably cover this more, but things like StreamerBot,
Yeah,
you
and,
can,
and Sammy as well.
and Sammy, you can just do it.
you
don't
can do
need
like commands to activate things instead of like channel points, because channel points are for affiliates and up or whatever. But you can do commands. You could. There's extensions for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
There's some extensions where you can actually put like click maps on your stream, so people can actually click in places on your stream to activate things. So there are a bunch of different options, but looking into those stream automation tools like Sammy, StreamerBot, Mix It Up, all of those, there's tons of options, and it's a good place to start just looking and familiarizing yourself with the options.
Yeah, even if it's as simple as, you know, chat member types in like exclamation mark, whatever, fire, and fire comes up on the screen or something like that. It's all possible through third-party programs like that.
Thank you.
Oh, and
Yeah.
my VTuber interaction software has an option for if you don't have channel points, you can use commands instead.
And the mods can bully you and abuse it. Yeah.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice meeting you too. Hello.
Hello, I'm Gurgler. Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Gordy. I love you, by the way. You're just giving me life. That was not my question. I just wanted to tell you that. My question is, when you are going about rebranding your channel, how do you appropriately rebrand your channel without disrupting your growth so that way your audience is still aware of who you are without putting them off of you?
Can we talk about that? So as somebody who did fully rebrand earlier this year, one thing that you have to be okay with is the fact that you are going to disrupt it. So when I rebranded completely, because I went from a completely furry VTuber to more of a like humanoid furry VTuber, it did disrupt a lot. My view count went plummeted, so I ended up with about 2/3 of my regular view count. Subs went down, like everything, and that's one of the things. If you're gonna do a rebrand, make sure you're doing it for you. Would be my main point, because like if I did the rebrand for views, it would have been really bad. But because I did it because I was like, this is me and this is what I want. But you do need to be aware that people are creatures of habit and they will probably get upset at change. But it doesn't mean you're going to lose everybody, and a lot of people will come back as well when they go, that was silly that I left, because they're still the same person. So, and then they come back. But yeah.
And I feel like communities, big or small, someone who leaves because of a rebrand, in my opinion, is maybe not someone who really cared about the person 100%, who's behind the VTuber, behind the brand. So it hurts. It's really not fun, but you do it for yourself. And I think that those people who do care will show back up again.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, because I'm right back where I was 6 months ago now. So.
More often than not, what I've seen, you know, like Mega said, you take that dive a little bit, but, you know, it's for the better. And I think, before I became a VTuber, we completely rebranded, you know, so.
And we do gotta wrap up, because it is
do.
now 2, and we really want to make things cool for the con, because they were really
Exactly.
nice. We will be answering questions outside.
We will. So for the next 30 minutes or so, all 4 of us are going to be outside. If anybody does want to come by, say hi, ask some questions. Other than that,
thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great con, everybody. Stay safe. And we'll see you online.
You're breathtaking.